1-1 is away.
And before we were so rudely interrupted by that 4-run rally, we were discussing the press box staff. And
we were only halfway done, really.
Some of the stellar people we have working in this press box.
2-1 on the ground at first. Logan's got it. He hustles towards the bag, but he'll feed Barnes, and then they hug. That was nice. So 3-1 ground out with a little extra love at the end. Yeah. I'll put a heart in my scorebook.
I think Logan at first thought he could get to the bag himself, and then realized I got to make this play to the pitcher. So,
well, we talked about our producer, Joseph Funktiel. Of course, we have to also shout out Andy Shire, Jake Sturkenboom. Good stuff all around. 3 guys who have been on the director's seat. The silent assassin, Damon Brethi. Just for fun, Damon. Big D, cheers to you, my friend. The Canadians' camera crew, the list goes on and on as Kekai Rios hits a 1-0 pitch foul to even the count.
Having been here 11 years, it's a big difference.
It sure is.
Wow.
You know a guy who's been here for a good stretch in terms of spiritually at least? Jorge.
True.
Jorge, what a guy.
He's got a pretty interesting sense of humor, too.
We have a funny bunch up here, that is for sure. It's 1-1 on Kekai Rios. That is in for a strike, and it's 1-2. And how about Mr. KP Wee?
And I was going to say, we can't forget
we can't.
One and only.
No, we can never forget KP.
Published author many times over.
One of the best of many great KP quotes in my 2 years of knowing him. 1-2 is in the air out towards left field. Back goes Junior Franco, and he is there to make the catch. Just not quite enough oomph on that one. And that is out number 2, F7. So KP, one of his many books is, I have it right here in the booth, right here. So you want to work in sports, advice and insights from respected sports industry leaders by KP Wee, forward by Fred Clare, former Major League Baseball executive. Now, KP was kind enough a year plus or so ago, maybe 2 years now, to have me on his podcast talking about working in sports. And look at me telling a story with 2 outs as this is rolled towards second, but it's thrown wide. Hassan better get back to the bag, and he does because he took the turn but scampered back. So thank you, Manny Pena, E4. And that is how the tying run will come to the plate, the form of Ryan McCarty. Second time Hassan has hit a ball that has been turned into an error by the right side of the Hops infield. Well, I'll finish with this. He asked me, of course, about my experience working in sports, and then he gave me this book when we finally met in person. He said, so Tyler, thank you so much for being on my podcast. You know, I interviewed a lot of people and put quotes into this book. You're not quoted in the book, but here's the book. Thank you very much for your time.
I could just hear KP saying that, too.
In KP's distinct fashion.
Yes.
Here's McCarty. First pitch swinging, and it's flied off to the right side, but foul.
And I sat next to KP for a number of years in the former official scorer's chair, and always entertaining.
We can't as well forget Josh today on the video board. Josh has done it all for us. He was even, I believe, Josh, did you direct the game? Just on the board. Terrific. Well, I should say just on the video board. 0-1 is low, and that evens the count 1-1. Joseph, we've got a ton of camera people who I've yet to name, video operators or replay operators. I know Ustani, Rapson, Tommy, Alex, Joey, Jimmy, Bobby.
And my favorite, well, not my favorite, because I don't want to play favorites, but one of the more essential roles is replay.
Yeah, the replay's been phenomenal
replay person,
this year.
For me, as official scorer, is an essential piece of the puzzle.
We've got a rotating cast of characters trapped in the room back there. 2-1. That's low. 3 balls and a strike. Remember, this is the tying run at the plate. A 2-out error, cracking the door open just a bit for the C's here in the last of the 7th.
And we have action in the bullpen, and it's a Canadian throwing in the bullpen for Hillsboro. Saul. Eli Saul. Warming up right now.
3-1. Oh, a strike. I was ready to say up and in. Oh, no. And Desan is caught off first base. A mental lapse, and he'll be out. That sums it up. Oh, my goodness. The inning ends. Desan thought it was ball 4. He didn't wait for the call. It was a delayed call by the home plate umpire, but you got to wait for the signal. Watch it again on Valley Live. I mean, it was a ball. And Desan just starts trotting down to second. Can't do that. Bring you back for the 8th after this on the C's broadcast.